Let's
Hilariously,
go to Jussie Smollett in the time we have remaining, guys. So what is the news with Jussie Smollett? I definitely want to hit this. This is MAGA country.
The juice is loose. Juicy Smollett, as Dave Chappelle called him. So Jussie Smollett, that was five and a half years ago at this point. It was early 2019, I believe. As everyone remembers, Jussie Smollett was attacked by guys wearing MAGA hats who said this is MAGA country, and they hung a noose around his neck and did all this bad stuff. And it was all transparently fake. It was some bizarre attempt to boost his career by being the victim of a hate crime. And Kim Foxx, the DA or whatever they call it in Chicago, dropped all charges against him for extremely obvious politically motivated reasons. So they appointed a special counsel who investigated it, charged him. He was convicted in 2021 and sentenced to 150 days in jail. He never served a single day of that, even though many people have gone to prison for lesser things, in my opinion. He never served a single day. It's been winding through the extremely glacial Illinois justice system for 3 years now. And the Illinois Supreme Court says, actually, it's double jeopardy that they charged him through a special counsel after DA Kim Foxx dropped the charges, because in the process he forfeited some $10,000 bond or whatever, and so it was double jeopardy, they say. So the juice is loose. He is an innocent man, just like, another famous person with juice as a nickname. And it's pretty wild, and I do think there's actually a serious takeaway here, which is it was always, to me, inherently ridiculous that Smollett, he gets charged just for filing a false police report, and it's a 150-day thing. He was basically doing a blood libel against half the country. If we believe the concept of a hate crime exists, a crime motivated by hatred against another group of people, what is more fitting than you make up a completely insane, salacious allegation against a group of people to encourage hatred of them? I think faking a hate crime should actually be a serious thing. Federal government comes in, charge him with a civil rights offense, and say, you're going to jail for 5 years, 10 years, because it is not acceptable to defame a group of people like this. That's my take.
Yeah, he could have started race riots in Chicago.
Yeah.
He literally could have started race riots.
This is what would start pogroms against Jewish people, is they would say oh, we found evidence that the Jews did this evil thing. And then they would murder them. That's what they would do in Russia. That is how bad stuff starts.
Yep.
But what he did was really bad, really, really bad. And I think a good thing for whoever the next AG is, and following up on Gates, is we should treat faking a hate crime is the real hate crime, as it were.
Mm-hmm. It should get the correlated punishment. All right, this is one of my favorite clips ever. By the way, I knew this was fake because I know Chicago very well. As soon as Jussie Smollett said that these guys were walking around in negative 10-degree weather. If you've ever spent time in Chicago when it's negative 10-degree weather, no one is gallivanting around, saying this is MAGA country on the way to Subway. And I know the neighborhood. It's right near Streeterville. This did not happen. Play cut 74.
They took our beautiful bench. This is where we waited for Jussie to come before we attacked them. So we got here with 10 minutes to spare, and we had to plan our escape route to survey the land. His building is actually right here, right above the stairs that we're going to attack him at. We made sure we got there at 2 a.m. sharp.
On the dot.
On the dot. We had no phones because he did not want us to bring any phones. He said, so we don't lose them. I don't know if that's really the reason, but you can deduce your own reason. So 2 a.m., he was nowhere to be found. He was not there. So we were like, damn, what do? We didn't have no way of contacting him. He had no way of contacting us. So we waited here for about, 4 minutes?
It was about 4 minutes, but it felt like forever.
Because it was cold as balls. So I saw him out the corner of my eye, and I was like, okay, that's him. Let's go. We gotta go get this Empire Yeah, that's him. That's him. It's that
that's that Nick.
It's that Nick.
Get that Nick.
Oh, he's moving fast. Come on, let's get him.
Get that Nick.
Let's get him. As we crossed the street, we said hey to get his attention.
Hey, Nick.
Hey. He turned around, looked at us, and that's when we started yelling the famous slurs he wanted us to yell. Hey.
Aren't you that Empire
Empire Nick. it's MAGA country.
Isn't that like
And he
right by
said,
Trump
what
Tower?
did you say to me? And then that's when I threw the first punch at him. I held the blow because I didn't want to hurt him, of course. So I made it look
This is
real,
so good.
but I held it. Then we started tussling, moving around, and then I threw him to the ground. He wanted it to look like he fought back. That was very important for him because he said, hey, don't just beat my ass, make it look like I'm fighting back and whatnot. So we did that. And then I threw him to the ground. And after I threw him to the ground, he had no bruise. I wanted it to look more real. So then I threw him to the ground. After I threw him to the ground, I used my knuckle and gave him a noogie. So I went like this. Why did I do that? To give him a scar, to give him a mark, to make it look real, like he really did get his ass beat. After I did that, I fake kicked him. I don't know what he was doing. I wasn't paying attention.
That's where I came around with the bleach, the infamous bleach in the hot sauce bottle, poured it on his shirt. Then I finally put the rope around his face. I did not put it around his neck. I just placed it on his face, and that's when we took off.
Charlie, isn't that like right by Trump Tower? Isn't that like right over?
It's a little ways away. It's about 5 or 6 blocks north, but it's the general area.
Like the general area. It's
Remember,
you can walk around there pretty.
I know the street that happened. I know, like, I've been there many times. And yes, you could not only can you walk around there. This is right near the Gold Coast neighborhood, a little bit south actually, like Streeterville, River North. And like, okay, the idea that anyone back then would wear a MAGA hat. Now, mind you, I might believe the MAGA hat portion of this in 2024. Now that we've brought the MAGA hat back,
Yes,
but
now.
the MAGA hat was like verboten back when this happened. So I want to remind
Just
you guys
flew in.
that this program is brought to you, of course, on Rumble by Rumble. Look, it's very important. One of the most incredibly important things to the survival of the company of Rumble is happening right now. When Rumble first started in 2013, they built the platform for the small creator. They didn't censor or have any bias. They were fair and treated all creators equally. No one thought platforms would censor political conversation or censor opinions on COVID, but they did. Facebook admitted that they felt pressure from Biden and Harris administration. Rumble did not, and they held the line. They're attacked daily for giving us a voice to talk to you. They're attacked in the corporate media. They're attacked by governments like France, and they're attacked from brand advertisers who refuse to work with them. Corporate America is fighting to remove free speech, remove speech. Rumble is fighting to keep it. Rumble won't survive with brand advertisers, and they won't get much of it watching our show on Rumble, is the most they can ask from you. But if you really believe in this fight, and if you have the means, one major way you can help Rumble survive is by joining Rumble Premium. Join the community that believes in the First Amendment and believes in our human right to freedom of speech. Rumble is offering $10 off with the promo code Kirk10 when you purchase an annual subscription. Go to rumble.com/premium/Kirk10 and use promo code Kirk10. Like I said, if you have the means and believe in the cause, now is the time to join Rumble Premium. I am a member of Rumble Premium, so go to, again, rumble.com/premium/Kirk10. Do this right now, rumble.com/premium/Kirk10.
well, and like everything about it is, you just remember, it takes me back to the UVA story. Remember the Rolling Stone story about the assault at UVA? And like the details in these stories are so ridiculous and everyone would believe them. So it's like, okay, that they would recognize this guy in the street at 2 a.m. while wearing their MAGA hats at 2 a.m. when it's 10 degrees out, as one does. And then just think, yeah, let's assault this guy. What are we going to assault him with? The noose that we're carrying around at night.
And a hot sauce
the
bottle.
bleach that we are also carrying around
And a hot sauce
in
bottle.
Chicago in the middle of the night for some reason. And
It was probably in a Kirk's hot sauce bottle.
it could be.
It probably was a Kirk's hot sauce bottle. Did we verify which hot sauce this was? Ooh. That they poured out. It's full of
Keep in mind, Kamala Harris, I believe, still has her tweet up about what happened to Juicy.
She does.
And I don't think she was never even asked about it.
Who has the tweet up?
Comma.
Who?
Yeah.
Sorry,
she
I
was
don't
this
know who
woman
that
who
is.
ran for president once. It was
Donald Trump is the president. Donald Trump.
You know what's crazy about this entire thing? 2019, everyone forgets this. It was never reported on. There were aggressive Antifa people outside threatening people in Washington, D.C. that walked out of the Trump Tower, out of the Trump Hotel. Every time they walked out of the Trump Hotel, threatening. I witnessed it numerous times. And this was just before COVID happened. Charlie, you remember all this when things were going on down there. You could not come out of there and walk safely out of there because it wasn't that dangerous because they wouldn't actually do it, but they would actually threaten you for wearing a MAGA hat. It was the opposite. It was literally the opposite happening. No one ever reported on it. People got assaulted all the time, got pushed around. They would get in your face, they spit on you, they do all sorts of things. Nothing ever was done about it. And then meanwhile, this guy just makes stuff up of something that never happened and it never would happen. It's crazy.
Everybody, thanks so much for watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the bell. We're doing so much good work here at Turning Point USA. Also, get your tickets to AmFest. That's amfest.com, the biggest party of the year in Phoenix Convention Center. We have Tucker Carlson and really big speakers coming. I'll be there. It's going to be unbelievable. Meet your future husband, future wife. It's going to be great. Amfest.com, amfest.com. Get there. Go get the tickets. It's going to be amazing. And again, please subscribe and hit this bell. We appreciate it. And if you listen to audio podcasts, subscribe to the Charlie Kirk Show podcast. That's Charlie Kirk Show podcast. We won, everybody. We won. I need to get this hat. Daisy, can you get me one of these hats? We won. And if you guys want a limited edition signed MAGA hat right here, last thing I'll say is become a member, members.charliekirk.com to get a limited edition MAGA hat. We have 5,000 to send out, don't we, Daisy?
Over, like 8,000 now.
We have 8,000 hats I have to sign. 8,000 hats. God bless.